He stood just on 4 ft high, yet which Benjamin Lay lacked in growth he done up for in ethical bravery and drastic thought. He was a belligerent vegan, a feminism, an abolitionist, and opposed to the die fine, a conjunction of values how put him centuries front of his contemporaries. In September 1738, 6 year following inbound in America, Lay went to the Philadelphia annual meet of Quakers in a hollowed-out volume. Within of that was a connected-off pet bubble comprising red fruit sap. Lay said the collection, that turned on rich Quaker slavery owners, therefore shall God barn the bloodstream of such persons who subjugate their comrade creatures. He later immersed a saber in the volume and the bloodstream spattered on the heads and bodies of the frightened slavery keepers. He requested to paint human beings in, he was proverb, are you for me or versus me? Are you for bondage or versus he? He lose the fight in the older generation of the chapel but won it in the following general. Puts travel to be maybe the largest seer drastic in before revolutionary America. He was one of the at first human beings to boycott slavery-produced means, in the identical way campaigners present avoid means done in pot shops, began close Colchester in England. Unborn in 1682 in Copford, he learned as a gauntlet maker in Colchester that had a main regional weaving production and was a hearth of drastic mind. He was a tertiary generation Quaker of an region in a powerful story of sectarian radicalization, told Dr. Redeker. He after became a seaman, and his experiences were to form his view on bondage. Put at first scientific on bondage via listening stories of his seaman friends, several of whom may include been slaves themselves, the historiographer told. Down there was as well a drastic navigation heritage, a seaman's ethical of cohesion, that connects in Lay to the drastic heritage. Following back household to the Colchester region, Lay found oneself in anxiety in the Quaker society since he thick felt the requirement to say out versus such who bring down brief of his top ethical standards. He was a firebrand at each time of his lifetime, told Dr. Redeker. He had a strong feeling of his convictions and would say true to force. Of Colchester he went to Barbados in his woman Sarah Blacksmith, as well a Quaker and a midget, to outdoor a general keep, but his expertise was a horror. It was the guideline slavery community of the planet, told his biography. He saw slaves starving to die, he saw them beaten to die and exhausted to die, and he was frightened, the Quaker tell out versus the estate owners or, indignant, they said him to keep. Put's odyssey following took him to Philadelphia, wherever he befriended the scholar Benjamin Franklin, a next basis dad of the USA, who would issue Put's volume, All Slavery Keepers How Hold the Harmless in Slavery, Apostates. Time in America, he extended to challenge usual wise. Lay designed his own cabin in a cavern, pad the entry in rock creation a rooftop and sprigs of evergreen, told Dr. Redeker. His household was seemingly rather roomy, in chamber for a big public library. Lay as well put and pome wood and treated potatoes, marrow, radishes, and melons. Put's favorite food was turnips cooked, and subsequently fried. Time his sip of selection was clean water supply. The devoted vegan done his own clothing of linen to escape the operation of animals, he would not though use the fur of lamb. His ethical confidence intended he could not enable the slavers in his midst to go permanent, and he would frequently visit Quaker meetings to renounce slavers. Dr. Redeker told they flew in rages while Lay tell out versus bondage. They ridiculed him, they heckled him, lot sacked him as mental insufficient and once insane as he opposed the overall feeling of the epoch, he told. He was for his lifetime denied by the Abington Quakers in Pennsylvania, as groups in Colchester and London. In November 2017, nearly 300 years following his denouncement, the polar London Quakers recognized the incorrect they had made in their treat of Put, receiving the team had no walked the way we would after know to be the fair a. It has righted an historic inequity, London Quaker and author Tim G. told. In 1758, the year of Lay dead elderly 77, the Philadelphia Quakers controlled they must no much longer get portion in the slavery trading. Put understood of the how it was the start of the late, Dr. Redeker told. The Quakers would go on to be at the foreground of the campaigning versus bondage, that would eventually be abolished in the U.S. in 1865. For Mr. G, put steady heritage is how he had a sight for a superior planet. He could see main injustices in community that were seen as regular and drawn the injustices in the lighting.